A promising young actress finds glamour and connection in exclusive social circles, only to have those same secret relationships become the foundation of scandal, betrayal, and royal family chaos years later. Before Meghan Markle became a duchess, she lived a life most people never knew about, a life hidden behind closed doors at one of the world's most secretive clubs. But what really happened during those mysterious Soho House days? Why did Sarah Ferguson suddenly decide to speak now after years of silence? And what does this story reveal about the royal family's biggest scandal in decades? Here's the part that will make your heart stop. If you've ever wondered why some celebrity stories feel incomplete, like someone's hiding the real truth, this is the video that finally connects all the dots.
Why would a former royal duchess suddenly start talking about Meghan Markle's past? Sarah Ferguson has always been careful with her words. She's lived through scandal. She knows how the media works. She's been quiet about Meghan for years, even when everyone else was talking. But something changed. In a recent interview, Fergie mentioned something small. Just a tiny detail about those days before the wedding. Most people didn't catch it, but the people who know, they understood exactly what she meant. She was talking about Soho House. If you don't know what Soho House is, don't worry, most people don't. It's a private members club. Celebrities go there, rich people go there, and according to Fergie, Meghan Markle spent a lot of time there before she ever met Prince Harry. But why does that matter? This isn't just any club. It's where Hollywood's biggest secrets are born. Soho House started in London in 1995. It was created for actors, artists, and media people who wanted privacy. You can't just walk in. You have to be invited. You have to be a member. And membership costs thousands of dollars every year. The whole point is secrecy. No photos, no gossip. What happens inside stays inside. By the 2000s, Soho House had locations all over the world. New York, Los Angeles, Toronto, Miami. Celebrities loved it. Meghan Markle loved it too. She spent time at the Toronto location when she was filming Suits. She went to events, she made connections, she met powerful people. And according to Sarah Ferguson, those connections changed Meghan's life forever. But who exactly did Meghan meet at Soho House?
Let's go back to the beginning. Before the royal wedding, before the fame, before everything fell apart. In 2011, Meghan Markle was just another actress trying to make it in Hollywood. She wasn't famous, she wasn't rich, she did small TV roles and game show gigs. Then she got lucky. She landed a part on Suits, a legal drama on USA Network. It wasn't a huge show, but it was steady work. Meghan moved to Toronto to film. She was happy. She had friends, she posted pictures on Instagram, she ran a lifestyle blog called The Tig. But she wanted more. She wanted to be taken seriously. She wanted to meet important people. She wanted to move up in the world. And that's when she discovered Soho House. She started going to events. She started networking. She became part of that secret world where deals are made and futures are decided. And then she met someone who would change everything. This is where the story gets interesting and where Sarah Ferguson's comments start to make sense. Meghan didn't just stumble into Prince Harry's life by accident. According to multiple reports, and now Fergie's hints, Meghan was introduced to Harry through a mutual friend. That friend was Marcus Anderson, a top director at Soho House. Marcus was powerful. He knew everyone. He threw parties. He made introductions. And he was very close to Meghan. Some people say Marcus was like a mentor to Meghan. Others say he was more than that. He was her guide into a world she could never access on her own. He introduced her to the right people. He got her into the right rooms. And in 2016, he introduced her to Prince Harry at a Soho House event in London. Most people think Meghan and Harry met through a blind date, but Sarah Ferguson's recent comments suggest something different. She suggests it was all planned from the start.
So, what exactly did Sarah Ferguson say? In a recent podcast interview, Fergie was asked about Meghan and Harry. She didn't say much at first. She smiled. She was polite. But then the host asked, "Did you know Meghan before the wedding?" And Fergie paused. She looked uncomfortable. Then she said something strange. "I knew of her before most people did." That line didn't make headlines, but people who were listening closely noticed it. How could Fergie know of Meghan before she was even dating Harry? Meghan was a small-time actress. She wasn't on Fergie's radar. Unless someone told Fergie about Meghan. Unless someone in that Soho House circle was talking. Unless the whole thing was being whispered about long before it became public. And that's when people started asking questions. Behind the palace walls, people were worried, and they had good reason to be. When Harry first told his family about Meghan, they were cautious, not because of her race, not because she was American, but because of her past. Royal aides started doing research. They looked into her background. They found her blog. They found her social media. And they found her connections to Soho House and to people who had their own agendas. Some people in the palace thought Meghan was ambitious. They thought she knew exactly what she was doing. They worried she was using Harry to become famous. And when they tried to warn Harry, he got angry. He thought they were being unfair. He thought they were judging her. But Sarah Ferguson understood something the younger royals didn't. She had been through this before. She knew what it felt like to be the outsider. She knew how the media worked. And she knew when someone was playing a dangerous game.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. The answer to our first question. According to sources close to Sarah Ferguson, Meghan didn't just attend random Soho House events. She attended specific, private gatherings. These were meetings where media executives, publicists, and influencers came together to plan careers, deals, and public images. Meghan was learning. She was watching. She was taking notes. And she was building relationships with people who could help her climb higher. One source claims Meghan attended a private dinner in 2015, a full year before she met Harry, where someone mentioned that Prince Harry was single and vulnerable. The source says Meghan asked questions. She wanted to know who his friends were. She wanted to know how to meet him. Whether or not she planned it from the beginning, we may never know for sure. But Sarah Ferguson's comment, "I knew of her before most people did," suggests that people in royal circles were talking about Meghan long before the relationship became public. And that changes everything. For years, Sarah Ferguson said nothing, even when the media exploded with Meghan stories. Why? Because Fergie knows what it's like to be destroyed by the press. In the 1990s, she was humiliated. Photographers caught her in embarrassing situations. Tabloids called her names. She was kicked out of royal events. She lost her reputation. She lost her dignity. It took her decades to rebuild her life. So when Meghan came along, Fergie felt sympathy. She understood the pressure. She understood the loneliness. But over time, Fergie started to see something different. She saw Meghan make choices that seemed calculated. She saw Meghan use the media for her own benefit. She saw Meghan and Harry attack the royal family publicly, the same family Fergie still loved despite everything. And that's when Fergie realized something painful. Meghan wasn't like her. Meghan wasn't a victim. Meghan was a player.
So, what finally pushed Sarah Ferguson to break her silence? In early 2024, Fergie was diagnosed with skin cancer. It was her second cancer diagnosis in a year. She had already survived breast cancer. Now she was facing another battle. And when you face death, you start thinking about legacy. You start thinking about truth. You start wondering if staying quiet is really the right choice. Fergie talked to her daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie. She talked to friends, and she decided that she owed the royal family and the public the truth. She didn't want to hurt anyone, she didn't want to start drama, but she also didn't want history to be rewritten. She didn't want people to forget what really happened. So she started dropping hints, small comments, tiny clues, just enough for people who were paying attention to understand. And now, the full story is finally coming out. Here's the truth Sarah Ferguson wants you to know. Meghan Markle didn't stumble into royalty by accident. She didn't fall in love with the prince by chance. She was smart, ambitious, and determined. She used every connection she had. She played the game better than almost anyone. And for a while, it worked. She became a duchess. She became famous worldwide. She became one of the most talked about women on the planet. But she forgot one thing. The royal family isn't Hollywood. You can't control the narrative forever. You can't manipulate people who've been playing this game for centuries. And when Meghan and Harry tried to burn it all down, when they did the Oprah interview, when they wrote the books, when they made the documentaries, they lost the one thing they needed most: loyalty. Sarah Ferguson knows this because she lived it. She made mistakes too, but she never betrayed the family. She never sold them out. And that's the difference between surviving scandal and becoming one.
Sarah Ferguson survived scandal, betrayal, and public humiliation, and she came out stronger. Now she's telling the truth about Meghan, Harry, and the royal family's biggest mistake. If you want more untold celebrity stories like this, subscribe now and hit the bell, because the secrets don't stop here.